set up right. I need to go like this. Rotate your phone. Okay, sorry for the technical stuff here. I don't know if I can keep my phone from falling over. Okay, so good morning. I'm so excited to be coming to you from the studio today. And I'm trying to set up my phone so I can do this on Facebook Live at the same time as doing my Zoom. So anyway, let me grab what I need. So we're gonna start, we'll start on our backs. So you can go ahead and lie down, take a comfortable position. Just a couple of blocks this morning if you've got them, or if you have a stool maybe, or even like a low table, the couch could be helpful for some of the things that we do today. We'll do a little bit of balance work and of course opening up the hips and the shoulders and work through all the different movements of the spine. Okie dokie. So, welcome. I've got a candle with me this morning. This is something I've been doing over the last, I don't know, it seems like forever now. During the corona, I'm lighting a candle, and I think I'll probably take that forward with me into the future. I really like the imagery of candles. I burn a lot of candles, especially in the winter. But anyway, the imagery here is that, you know, I'm lighting this for the light within each of us. And in yoga, we say namaste to each other. Namaste means the light within me sees and honors the light within each of you, and we are as one. So lighting the candle, and it's in my heart-shaped selenite quartz rock this morning too, which is really beautiful. So I'm gonna sit that close to my mat. So I'll think about all of you as well, since you're not here in the space with me. I spent some time at the studio yesterday, and it feels so good to be in here, and I decided I would get up and come to the studio this morning and hopefully give all of you a sense of being in the studio as well. I've opened up the blinds so I can see. It's just a beautiful, cool morning here in California. So, starting on our backs, go ahead and lie down on your mat. Take a blanket if you want that under your head, and again, any other props that you might have. And we'll get started, okay? So I'll see you on the mat. Alrighty. As we lie down, just taking a comfortable position and taking a few good deep breaths here, where you can let your body settle down into the floor. I'm looking because I don't know if you can see me on my on my Facebook Live or not, so we'll see how that goes. So relax the face, relax the jaw, let your shoulders release down into the floor. You want to turn the palms so they face up, so your biceps face up. This will help you to open across the shoulders, drop the arms down a little bit heavier into the floor. The feet are wide here too, toward the corners of the mat, so everything just has this feel of kind of sprawling out, taking up space, and allowing your body to come to a place of like neutrality before we start to move here. Okay, so let's focus in on the breath. Not really changing anything about the breath in the beginning, but just starting to feel it and observe it and sense it. And just by bringing your attention to the breath, probably you're going to slow things down a little bit. And your breath will get a little bit deeper and longer. You can linger in the breath a little more. Feel the belly rise and fall with your breath. And again, let your arms relax, your legs relax. Feel how your spine is contracting down into the mat here as well. of breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth for a couple of rounds. So in through the nose and out the mouth. In through the nose and out the mouth. In through the nose and out the mouth. Now close the mouth. Breathe through your nose. Maybe set an intention for yourself this morning or focus, perhaps dedicating your practice to someone. Let's bring the hands together at the heart center here. You can open up the eyes if you like. We're going to shoot the hands up toward the ceiling here. Interlace the fingers. Turn the palms up toward the ceiling. And then from your shoulders, reach and stretch your arms back over the top of the head. Go long. Bring your legs a little closer together. Move out through the heels here as you stretch. Breathe in deeply. Let your back arch a little bit. And then bring the arms up toward the ceiling. Let's turn the palms back up. Cross your right arm over your left. Just take a big hug around the shoulders here, around the chest. Bend the knees and cross your left leg over your right. So you're doing opposite. I got right arm on top and left leg on top. We're just wrapping around the midline here. So squeeze in, squeeze your arms together, squeeze your inner thighs and your legs together a little bit. And then when you come to the right breath for you, start to unwrap everything. Unwrap the arms, let them go wide, maybe kind of V-shaped behind you. Let your legs unwrap, go back toward the corners of your mat. Take a big giant breath in. Let it out through your mouth. Good. And then we'll do the other side, okay? So the palms come together at the heart center. We're going to shoot the hands up toward the ceiling. Interlace your fingers, but do it the weird way. So your other index finger and thumb are on top. Turn your palms toward the ceiling. From your shoulders, stretch your arms stuff, and you need to vary that, modify that, then go for it. Leave your hands apart maybe. Bring your legs closer together, stretch out through your heels, reach. Let your back arch a little bit away from the floor. Big giant breath in. Out through the mouth. Good. And then the arms going back up. We'll uncross and wrap your left arm on top of your right. Bend your knees, wrap your right leg over your left, and squeeze the limbs together. Think of wrapping around the midline of the body here, like a plumb line. Right down the center from the top of your head to your tailbone. Squeeze in. And on the right breath for you, unwrap. Reach your arms out to the sides. Bring your legs back out wide. Take up a bunch of space here. You can even stretch your feet off your mat if that feels better, or just different. Just stretch out, get as wide here as you can. We're going to work on bringing ourselves into a tight little ball and then back into a wide position, okay? So I like to drag my feet up. They can slide really easy on the floor here. So I'm going to drag my heels in to help me squeeze the legs together. And then I'm going to curl up the upper body, so I'll go into a tight little ball. And then I'll stretch the legs apart and the arms back over. The navel draws to the spine here, so you're really strong in your core. All right, so we'll squeeze in, exhale. Inhale, stretch apart. Exhale, squeeze in. Stretch apart, navel to the spine. Exhale, squeeze in. And inhale, apart. Nice and strong from your center. Let's do a few more. Squeeze in. Stretch apart when you breathe in. Exhale in. And stretch apart. Now let's just do right leg in. So right knee comes in. Left leg is going to lower down and hover over the floor. This is an option here. You can certainly have the leg down or the foot on the floor, okay? Option to lift the leg and then lift the head and shoulders as well and fire up the belly. Reach your arms past your feet if you can. Curl up, squeeze in. And then you're gonna hold on to that right leg and let everything come back down. Take a nice big breath in. Open your body out wide again. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Now, let's go back to what we were doing before. The ball, bring yourself into a tight little ball, and then stretch apart. So exhale, squeeze in. Inhale apart. And you can leave your head up. If you want a little bit more work out of your core, leave your head up. But if that hurts your neck, you get tired, put your head down. Squeeze in and stretch apart. Navel to the spine. Let's do a couple more. Squeeze in, stretch apart. Exhale in. Inhale apart. And exhale, come in. Good. And then apart. We're going to bring just the left knee into the chest. Right leg is going to stay reaching out, hovering on the floor or foot on the floor. You get to choose, okay? Squeeze in, breathe. Let's curl up if we can. Lift that right leg maybe a little bit. You're reaching through the heel as you're pulling the left knee into the chest. And the arms are reaching, so we got a lot of work through the abdominals here. Breathe. Good, hold on again. Let everything come down and then stretch your body apart. Reach your arms back over the top of the head. And the arms come down by the sides of the body. So I'm going to channel a little bit of our favorite core and balance teacher here at Loka Yoga, and that is Lisa Jimenez. So let's bring our knees in. I'm going to move the blanket that I've got out from underneath my head, interlace the fingers, and I'm going to go with a side-to-side bicycle. Not a cross, but a side-to-side. So I'm going to pull my right knee and right elbow together and extend the left leg out. And then I'm going to go to the other side. Squeeze the left elbow and knee together. And then go from side to side here. So you want to work the side waist as much as you can. Of course, you're working rectus abdominis here too, and down into your transverse. But think about working the waist, like squeezing the ribs and the side of the hip, the top of the hip, toward each other. Then go from side to side. Keep breathing. Working strong side to side here. Just waking up through the obliques, the side bodies, and abdominals. Let's do one more on each side. Go squeeze to the right, squeeze to the left, and then come center, drop it all down. I'm going to put that blanket back under my head because I like it. Arms wide, feet are wide, knees are bent, and we'll let the knees drop from side to side. I want you to rock the head too. As you rock the knees, rock the head. Bringing some twisting into the body here. Feel your spine rotate. Feel the hips opening. Starting to get some stretch through the top of the leg, through the hip flexor, through the quad. All right, so you decide. We're going to roll to one side. All right, so next time I'm rolling to the right, I'm going to give it a push up and away from the floor here. So let's come up into a crisscross seated position for a moment. I'm going to sit up on my blanket and I'm going to grab my blocks so that I'm going to raise the floor up a little bit higher for myself. And come into a little bit of side stretching here before we move into some standing work, okay? So let's stretch the arms out. Let your palms face up, biceps face up. We'll go from the shoulders, reaching up, just like we did before on the ground. We're gonna we're interlacing the fingers and turning the heels of the hands up and stretching up. Lift the ribs away from the hips here, and then take it off to the right side. So you're gonna bring the right arm down and bend the elbow and lean toward that left side, or toward the right side rather. Stretch out through your left fingers. Oh yeah, that feels good. Good. All right, since I've got this block here, it feels a little bit crammed into me. What I'm going to do is actually push the block out. My hand's light on top of the block here, and that's going to open me up just a little bit more on that underneath side. You might find that really challenging in your bottom shoulder or somewhere else, so make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You're going to take the top arm and sweep it down across. Pull yourself all the way back up. Let's turn the biceps and the palms up. Stretch up, interlace the fingers the weird way, and turn the heels of the hands up. And wiggle a little bit to lift your ribs away from your hips. Breathing in and out. Let's come now to the left. So bring the left hand down, stretch over, reach. Feel that side seam of the body open up here. Feels good. It's a little easier for me on this side. I just notice more space in my body on this side. And I'm going to take that block, I'm going to push it out, leave the hand light on top of it as much as I can. So I'm really working the core of the body here. Make modifications as you need it for your shoulders, for your back, for your hips. Good. And then that top arm is going to sweep down toward the floor, across, back over toward the right, and then we're reaching out through the fingertips. The palms face up here, and then go all the way up, nice and tall. Let's come forward. If it's hard for you to reach the floor here, and you feel, again, like kind of crammed in, grab your blocks, raise the floor up for yourself, so you put them out there, and then maybe go again. We'll fold forward. And I like the idea of pushing the blocks forward to reach out through the sides of the body and ease into a forward fold here. Go where you can go. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Feel it in your own body with your breath and make sure you're taking care of yourself. So since I'm on the floor, I'm going to pull the blocks back to me, so that helps me engage through the core a little bit more. Rock back, change the cross of the legs. Breathe in, lift up. And then exhale, start to fold forward. I'm using the blocks today. I'm going to slide those blocks out as far as I want to go. Still breathing and taking care of myself, making sure I'm not overdoing something. And of course, if you overdo and you go too far, you get to an edge, then just pull back. It's cool. Breathe. Pull back if you need to, okay? Take care of yourself. And then we'll lift up a little bit, maybe drag those blocks back into you, and put the blocks over toward the head end of your mat. And let's come up onto all fours, okay? So switching it up. If your knees are sensitive, you don't have a thick blanket, or you're not on carpet, you might want the blanket underneath your knees for a little bit of padding and support. And we'll come right into a little bit of cat-cow here. So I've got the knees under the hips, the feet pressed down, hands a little bit in front of the shoulders. I'll inhale and let the back arch, pull the heart through, exhale round like a cat. So we move inhaling into cow and exhaling into cat. Push the floor away. In both postures, push into the floor here. Push into the floor with your shins and your hands. Exhale round and inhale. And exhale. Good. Big toes touch, knees apart, stretch back into Balasana or Child's Pose, and I want to make it Utthita Balasana today. I'm going to bring my blocks in, so it gives me a little bit of lift underneath the arms, and I'm going to push the blocks forward like I did in the previous seated posture, so that I can really get some good length here out of the sides. This is Utthita Balasana. It's extended Child's Pose, so the arms are pretty active as we reach, and the hips are sitting back toward the heels here. My forehead is not on the floor, but you might have your forehead on the floor here. Take care of your shoulders, don't overdo anything. Lift up a little bit if you can. If you've got the blocks, see if you can drag the blocks into you as you lift up a little bit, and then move them off to the sides. Let's come into downward facing dog. So shifting forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come on up to down dog. Take several breaths as you work here. You're gonna walk the feet closer together and allow one leg to lift, and then release that foot down and take the other leg. So sweep it up with your breath, release it down on your exhale. Inhale, leg lifts. You're nice and strong in your arms, pushing into the floor just like you did when you were doing cat-cow. And you can always modify this by being on one knee instead of up and downward facing dog. So you go from all fours. Let's do it a couple more times. Feel your ability to reach out of the hip here. Reach out of the hip. Reach, reach, reach. And release. Do the same thing on the other side. Reach out of the hip. Right into the foot. And then down. Good. All right, if you're still with me, go one more time. And then shift forward to plank. Flex the foot. Drive the leg through the heel here. Hold a strong plank. You could be down on your knees. You could be on your forearms. Take care of yourself. If you're not practiced and you don't feel like you've got a lot of support for yourself, change your posture. All right, we're gonna pull this right knee into the chest. Pull it in and then shoot it back. We're staying in plank here. We're not going back to downward facing dog. Of course you can if you want to. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, shoot it forward, or shoot back. Exhale, pull it in. And inhale, lengthen. Let's go one more. Pull it in. Push it back. We're gonna go to the floor here. Shift forward, hover down, both legs come down. Lengthen the body. Go for length more than lift, okay? A couple of breaths here. Nice and long from the fingers, through the crown, out through the legs and into the feet. Let's see if we can straighten the arms and let the palms face the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades a bit together. Good. Now lift up and down a couple times. Lower down, and then lift back up. If you want to add the leg in here, you can add the right leg lifting with you as you work your back body. So down you go, and then up you go. So exhaling as I go down, inhaling as I come up. Just keep breathing. If your breath is different than mine, it's okay. Let's go one more. And then let it down. So we're just going to switch into the other side. Can you lift that left leg as you lift your body up? We'll take an extra breath here. Inhale and exhale. So keep breathing, lifting up, releasing down, lifting up, and releasing down. We're going to do one more. You feel your back body working? I do. Good. The hands are going to go by the chest. Can you keep that back leg lifted? Maybe. Go to that right knee, or go to your full plank with the left leg lifted. And then we'll pull the knee in and shoot it back. Do this several times. Connect to your core. Move with your breath. Feel your body working, warming. We're building strength and endurance and tone in the body here. Let your mind stay on the movement. Now we'll go one more. And back we go. Let's take it to downward facing dog. Lift that left leg up nice and high. Good. And release it down. Take a few breaths here. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Lift your right leg up. Pull it in toward your chest. Now step that right foot through, okay? We're going to rotate so the back heel goes to the ground. Pull the left arm and bring yourself up to warrior two on the right. We want the knee above the ankle here. The arms are strong. We're going to rotate the biceps and the palms to face up. Breathing in, breathing out. Look out your right fingers. Now steady yourself down into the feet. Good, pull back a little bit with your left arm and pull forward a bit with your right. So we're gonna shift a little bit here. Pull back and pull forward. So feel your range here. When you pull back, there's a place where it's like, oh, that's pretty much it. That's as far as I can go. But reaching forward is like infinite. You just go and go and go. So sort of feel that. Let's try it with the right leg straight. So push with that right foot to straighten the right leg. And shift forward and back a couple more times. Opening up the sides of the waist. Good. Let's go one more. Pulling back and then pulling forward. Keep going forward. Drop that right hand to your shin, or if you've got a block, maybe you take a block underneath that hand, and the back arm, the top arm, is going to go up to the sky. So come into triangle pose here. Strength from the belly, lengthening out. Remember when we were lying down and we were taking up a lot of space? Take up a lot of space here. Push into your feet. Reach through your lifted arm. Put a soft bend in your right knee. You're going to come all the way up. Use your side waist. Lift up a bit. Go a little more. Can you lean back and go into reverse triangle? And then we'll come all the way back down. Reach out long. Tip it to Trikonasana. Lift up. Use your waist. Go back to reverse triangle. And then reach out and tip back down. Good, let's go up again. Up and back. A lot of balance challenge here. And then reach out and tip it down. Nice. Put a bend in your right knee. Maybe bring your right forearm up on your thigh and wrap your top arm around behind you. Open up the chest a little bit more here. Push into your heels. Couple of breaths. Good. You can always drop deeper into your lunge by using your block inside or outside of the foot. All right. I like the forearm on the thigh myself with the palm up. All right, last breath. Let's change the arm. You're going to sweep the arm like you're sweeping across the horizon and lengthen as much as you can from your left fingers to your left heel. Reach, reach, reach. Now drop that hand down to the floor. Raise your back heel so you're facing downward. You can use your block here. We're going to go into twist. So the left arm stays down and the right arm goes up into twist. Powerful back leg as you rotate. Good. Now top arm goes over the top of the head again. Reach. Pull in the belly, lengthen, and take that top arm and wrap it around behind you. Good. Last breath. We're going to rotate the face down. You might take both of your blocks here, standing up on their tallest end. Try to straighten your front leg. Push the back heel toward the ground. I'm a little long in my pose. I'm going to step up just a bit with that back foot. Working on squaring up the hips and the shoulders here. Lengthen from your back heel through the top of your head. One more breath. And then bend the right knee. Move your blocks out of the way. I'm going to step back to downward facing dog. Good. So let the right leg lift, bend the knee, and open up the hip here. Can you drop your foot, your right foot, toward your left buttock? Twisting. Good. We're going to take that right knee all the way up toward the left elbow. So there's a cross crunch under here. I'm going to go back and up. Open up the hip, and now I'm pulling the right knee toward the right elbow, and then back it up. Okay, so we're going to cross to the left elbow, pull it in, send it back and up, keep the knee bending, and then toward the right elbow. Let's go one more time. Take it up, Take it toward your left elbow. Breathe. And then take it towards your right elbow. Good. Three-legged dog. Foot comes down. Knees wide, toes touch. Drop back. And rest for a few breaths here. If you're feeling really good and strong, you want to go through a vinyasa here, that's cool. Do that. Squeeze and release your fists a little bit. Let yourself relax. Or go through that vinyasa. Find your breath here. Good, let's roll up. So I'm going to turn myself around so that I can mirror you, but I want you to stay where you are, and you're going to start to come into plank with your left leg lifted perhaps, okay? So I'm just going to turn myself around. Take my stuff, and then take it up to plank. And you're going to start to lift your left leg perhaps, okay? So your option is to keep that knee down and work from a closer to the ground, more support place. Hold that for a couple of breaths. Option to have the feet down on the ground here too. Good, take another moment. I think I have, yep, low battery. Of course, everything's low. All right, so here we go, okay? We're gonna take the left knee into the chest and shoot it back into your three-legged plank. Exhale, pull it in. And shoot it back. Nice and strong here. Push into the floor. Keep your arms straight, unless you're on your forearms, and that's fine. This is pretty intense work in the wrist here. Pull it in on the exhale. Breathe in to lengthen. Let's go one more. And back. Good. All right, so you're gonna lift that leg behind you, pull it in, let's step it forward. Ground the back heel, pull your arm back to bring yourself up. Okay, so we go back into Warrior Two. Take a few breaths. Look out your left fingers, left knee above the ankle. Find your breath here. Good, now let's start to shift a little bit. Pull back through the right arm and then reach forward through the left. Let yourself shift forward and back. Feel how you've got less range when you're pulling back and a lot more as you're pulling forward. Let yourself explore that reaching out through the left side. Good. All right, so let's straighten the left leg and then do the same thing. Reach back a little bit and then reach forward. Make sure you're not hyperextending in your left knee. Shifting forward and back. We're gonna go to triangle pose. So reach out, drop that hand down to the shin, or you can use a block. I really like using a block. It gives me a lot of stability. I'm gonna take that top arm to the sky. Breathing in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Ooh, good. Breathe out of your center. Reach your limbs long. Take up space. All right, let's work the waist here. We're gonna pull up, a little soft knee. We're going up and back into reverse. So come back up, reach out, and tip to triangle. Good, do that a few times. Feel the challenge of balancing all through this movement here, this transitioning, lifting up, reaching back. Good. Now, as we come into it again, let's bend the knee. You can bring the forearm up onto the thigh. Of course, you can leave the hand on a block, inside or outside. I like the elbow on the thigh. We're gonna take that top arm, reach it around behind us. Open up the top shoulder. Draw the ribs around a little bit. Breathe easy here. Soften the jaw, soften your forehead. Good, we're gonna take that top arm and bring it across like you're tracing the horizon and then reach out through your top fingers. Reach really long here. Good, and then bring it down. Lift your back heel so everything faces down. You could certainly use your blocks here. So you move back into more of a runner's lunge, lengthen your spine. We're gonna take the right hand and leave it down and then rotate into twist. Stretch up through your top arm, reach it over the top of your head. Get long here. Good, let's bring it down. Maybe come back to your blocks. Rotate that back heel. Actually, no, that's not what we're doing. Let's bring it back to downward facing dog. Ooh. Good. Now you're going to lift that left leg up again. Bend the knee, open up the hip. We can certainly rest here, or we can flow through. We're going to pull that knee up toward the elbow, and then let it go back and up. We'll pull it toward the left elbow, and we'll go back and up. Cross it under to the right. Inhale, go back and up. Bring it in toward your left elbow. Bring it back and up. To the right elbow. Back and up. And to the left. Good. Shoot that leg back. Maybe you're in your plank. The foot can be up or down. We're going to shift to the floor. Let everything down. Lengthen first. Go really long in your cobra. See if you can start to lift the chest a little more. Pull the shoulders back. Good. Let's release. Pull the hands back just a little bit, maybe lifting to upward dog. So we lift up a little bit. Everything gets powerful. The legs come up off the floor. So it's hands and tops of the feet. And then let's go back down. Good, one more, you choose. Long in your body, cobra, or pushing up for upward facing dog. I'm gonna take cobra. Couple of breaths, firing up that back body, and then we're working our way to downward facing dog. So you can go to knees, or your full plank, and back into down dog. Take several breaths. Whew. Maybe breathe out through your mouth. Let go of some tension. You can certainly go through vinyasa here, or drop the knees, big toes touch, and do a little bit of resting down into child's pose. Find your breath. Checking my tongue. And then from wherever you are, we're going to work our way back to downward facing dog. And you're going to lift your back leg. Step it through, so left leg stepping through. Grab your blocks and spin into a wide forward fold here. I'm gonna move my blanket out of the way. Got the blocks if I need them. It's pretty easy to reach the floor when you're in a wide forward fold, so you might not need them. The feet are parallel with each other into the short edge of the mat. Take a few breaths here. The spine is long, so reach out of the tailbone and out through the top of your head. Powerful legs. Good, let's add our twist in, okay? So let's leave the left hand down. Let the right arm go up into twist. Keep your legs really powerful here as you spin around. And then release that side, and let's do it the other way. So right hand stays down, left arm goes up. And release that. Good. Take it a couple times. Twist in one direction. Feel your spine rotate. Feel your legs powerful. Your arms are powerful. Let's go again. One more time on each side. Twist. And release. And twist. Good. All right, turn the knees and toes outward just a little bit. Bring your hands up towards your hips. Lift yourself all the way up. Straighten your legs. Reach out. Take up a lot of space here. Go all the way up with your arms and then down into center. You're going to turn your feet and your femurs to the right so you can drop into Warrior Two. You want that right knee above the ankle as you do this. So your spine is tall and lifted through the crown as you root the feet. Stretch out through your arms. Look out your fingertips. Let's reverse it. Straighten the right leg. Good. Reach long. Bring yourself to triangle pose. So we visited that a few times. Let's take the top arm. Reach it over the top of the head. And use your waist. You're going to come all the way back up into your reverse triangle. Bend your knee, your front knee. Bring yourself back into Warrior Two. Good. Let's straighten and then turn the other direction. So you're going to drop into that Warrior Two lunge with your left knee above your ankle and in line with your center toe. Look out your fingers. Breathing in and out. Very strong. The spine is tall. We lift through the crown of the head as we take Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to straighten the front leg, lean back, take your reverse triangle, and then go to triangle proper, Trikonasana. Reach out, tip down. Take the top arm, reach it over the top of the head, go for that side length. You could certainly be using blocks here. And we'll come all the way up. Use your sideways and go back to that reverse triangle. Back to Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg, turn your feet parallel with each other, and fold. Over you go. Down you go. Move those blocks out a little bit. Let your head relax. Shift your weight into your toes a little bit. And then lengthen here. Turn the knees and toes outward just a little bit. Bring your hands up to your hips. Bring yourself all the way up. Hop your feet together or heel toe your feet together. Okay? Once you get there, let's take the arms out and up, all the way up to the sky. Sit into your chair pose. And we're going to pull the hands into the heart center. I'm going to step toward the head end of my mat again. So I'm in chair and sitting into it. So what I want to do here is take a twist toward me, okay? I'm going to take my right elbow and hook it toward the outside of the knee. Option to put the arm on the legs and just open maybe into a twist like this. Now, a little bit more challenge. I'm going to keep that left leg and the twist. I'm going to start to pick up my right foot and reach it way back and step back into my twisted lunge. Breathing. Good, the arms can open. Lots of rotation here. We'll bring it back together, stepping up onto that left foot, stepping back into chair, unwinding, circle out the arms, come all the way up. And exhale into the center. Good. So I'm going to step toward the other end so that I can mirror you. You can stay right where you are. We're going to go up and sit back. Hands come into the heart center. So now you're twisting toward me again, or the other way. You're twisting to the left. Breathing in, breathing out. Whew. Good. Remember your options. You've got the forearm on the thigh. The arm can reach. This might be where you stay. Or you're holding that twist. Put all your weight into that right leg and reach back with your left. See how gracefully you can do that. Keep revolving. Arms can open. Or we can stay with the hands in heart center. Let that back leg be powerful. Try to relax the hips just a bit. Okay, we're going to step back up with that back foot. Unwind. Circle out, come all the way up to the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Let's come all the way to the top. Stretch out, lift up, and the hands come down and into the center. Good, so facing in this direction, we'll do a little bit of balance work here. Take a few breaths. Good. All right, so stand on your left leg and let your right knee start to come up. Grab onto the shin here if you can. You're going to pull that leg into your chest. You can actually put your hands underneath your leg if that's helpful and hug it in that way. So this might be where you end up staying, and that's fine. If you can let go and hold the knee up where it is, let the arms go wide. Now flex the right foot and extend through the leg as you can. Maybe the arms go up and we breathe. Good, release that leg down. Take a big reach up. Pull the arms back, open the chest. And then all the way back up and the hands into the center. Now you're just switching the legs. So you're going to be pulling that left knee up, rooting down into your right. You can grab onto the shin. This might be where you stay, or hands underneath the leg here. Steady yourself. So wherever you end up, you're going to flex that lifted foot. Maybe reach the arms out to the sides. Try not to hike the hip way up, but do be strong in your side waist. And can you extend the leg forward? And the arms up over the top of the head. These are just options. Breathe. A little wobbly on this side for me. That's okay. We're going to let it go. Open up the arms wide. Big breath in. And then let it go. Stretch all the way up. Open your legs out wide again and take that forward fold. Down you go. Think of this as inversion here. If you're practicing and you have a tripod headstand practice, or you want to go inverted in some way, this might be the time to do that. Breathing in and breathing out. We can make this into a little bit of downward dog here, using the blocks perhaps, raising the floor up. So we have a wide fold and stretching through the arms here. Lift up a bit, walk the blocks back underneath you if you're using them. If you're in a headstand of any sort or some other inversion, work your way back down. Let's work our way to the end of the mat then. You're going to turn, plant the hands, step back to downward dog. Rest here in child's pose or continue through your vinyasa. Just go forward and hover down. Roll up into your cobra or your up dog, and then release. Good. You're going to push up and back. Taking several breaths. Good. So I realized that I left out a stretch. It always drives me crazy. If I leave something out, it'll come back to me. Most of the time it comes back before I finish the practice. So we did a kind of a pyramid-ish stretch on one side and not the other. And I want to just do both sides because I want to make sure we get both, okay? You might want your blocks for this. So you grab the blocks. step through with your left foot or your right. You get to choose. We're going to do both, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, step through, tuck your back toes under, straighten your legs and push your hips toward the wall behind you and lengthen yourself out here. I'm going to step up just a bit with that back foot so I can start to root the heel a little bit. Y'all remember this? Yeah, this might be the same side that you did previously. Whichever leg is in front, you're going to get more stretch out of the hamstring and around into the glutes. Back leg, you'll get the calf. Good. Take a few breaths. And then let's just change legs, okay? Put a bend in that front knee. Step forward with your back foot. Keep it about train track width with your legs, or your feet rather. And then push the legs towards straight. Push your hips back, lengthen out through the top of your head. So, Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. I'm going to try to ground my back heel here so I can get a little bit more stretch out of the calf. Got some good stretch going on in that front hamstring. Rooting down into the feet here. Good, last couple of breaths. Deep hip stretch. We're going to kind of relax the hips a little bit as we take these last couple of breaths in pyramid. And then just step forward. Circle the arms out and up, come all the way up to the top. And the palms coming down and into the center. Good, let's come down to sit, okay? So coming down, going to take the blocks, glasses, blanket. If you're using a blanket, I'm going to sit on my blanket here. So it gives me just a little bit of lift underneath the spine. I'm going to take the legs out wide. We worked on a lot of opening for the legs this way, as well as working on narrow. So we just get to kind of feel this out as we take some time here to settle into the end of the practice. I've got the blocks out in front of me. I'm going to grab onto those and put them off to the sides here. You may not need the blocks, but they're there to raise the floor a little bit if that's helpful for you. So going back to what we did in the very beginning, you're going to take that right hand out on the block or on the floor, lift the other arm up and take a side stretch. My legs are powerful. I'm reaching through the heels as I take this side bend here. Taking a few breaths. The navel is drawn in. For me, I try to keep my core really strong. I have some pretty major back stuff I have to take care of. And holding the core in, yet breathing, is very helpful. All right, so a little more challenge is maybe to push that block out to the side as we fold. Some of you may be going down and getting to that leg. You're that flexible. I am not going to do that. It's too much on my back. And I've learned the hard way. So go where you can go, but don't push yourself over the edge. You're going to feel it later. You're going to take that top arm, reach it in front of us and down, and then lift all the way back up. Let's go to the other side. So I've got my block over here. Put the hand down. Start to bend that left elbow, reach the right arm up and over the top of the head. Leaning off to the side here. Again, the legs are powerful. I'm reaching through the heels a little bit. I'm going to push that block out to the side. Get a little bit deeper in there, just feeling for my edge. Breathing, soft in the face. You can turn the head down. You can look forward. You can even look up if that's comfortable in your neck, but be careful. Got a few more moments here. Again, you might be way down really close to the leg. You might be kind of high up like I am. You're going to lift or take that top arm and drag it down and across. Good. Reach out, grab those blocks. Bring them in front of you. You may not be using blocks. It doesn't really matter. I like them. I like raising the floor up for me. We're going to come down the center here, okay? First of all, lengthen yourself up. Let's actually lift the arms up over the top of the head. Give us a little bit more space between the ribs and the hips. And then begin to fold forward. So I'm rotating, my whole pelvis rotates forward with me as I go into this forward fold, okay? And then I'm taking the hands to the blocks. I'm going to push the blocks out. Go where I can go. I want to try not to be all rounded in. I want to try to lengthen the body out. Keeping that front body spacious. Adding that back body length in. Side bodies. Reaching out. Pushing out. So Upavista Konasana. This is a wide angled forward fold. We've done this several times in different relationships to gravity. Now, grab those blocks, pull them in, drag it in. Use your core, use your inner thighs, bringing yourself all the way back up. Good, circle the arms out and up, lift up, palms together, and then down and into the center. Take your hands underneath the backs of your knees and drag your legs in. Move your blocks. Bring your legs all the way together. So we're going to come down on our backs. Shift everything. Take the blanket underneath the head for just a moment. I'm not going to keep that blanket there, but I'm going to come down because I want to come down for a moment, take bridge pose, and then we'll do our resting, okay? So just coming down to get a feel for how things are. If I'm doing bridge, I don't want a lot of blanket under the back of my head. So I'm going to push that out of the way for a moment. Bring the arms down by the sides of the body. Keep the gaze up toward the ceiling here. Roll the shoulders back. Press up into, into bridge. And breathe deeply across the chest. Underneath the heart. Back of the heart. Sides of the heart. Press into your legs. Press into your feet. Take several breaths here. When you're ready, you can ease yourself down. Maybe pull that blanket back underneath the head here. Widen the feet. Take a couple of rocks from side to side. Rock your head and your legs. And then we'll come into Shavasana. One of my favorite ways to do Shavasana, I'm going to rock up for this, is to use the blocks under my calves. So I'm going to place the blocks and then come back down. And I want the blocks to be right under like the meaty part of the calf here. So the feet hang off and the calves get this like spreading quality down on top of the blocks. You might not have blocks. You can try it in different ways. Okay, head turns back up. Relax your body here. See if you're ready to close your eyes. Settle yourself down. Good. Stay in your resting position. In your resting pose, in Shavasana. Let your face relax. Let your jaw relax. Soften around the sides of your forehead. Let the temples become rounder and deeper. Open up the mouth a little bit, let the jaw relax, let the tongue relax. Breathing in and out, nice and soft. Shoulders release, arms release, legs release, hips soften. The spine is settling. Whole body resting down into the mat, into the earth. Let your breath get softer and smoother. Allow the body to rest and relax. And then go back a little bit into our practice, go all the way back to the beginning when we first lay down on the mat and overlay this new experience here. How has the body
changed? Has there been some change? Is there some transforming that has happened since you first lay down for your practice this morning? We're not doing this for any kind of judgment. We're just feeling how the body is. Be aware. Be relaxed, yet aware and awake. If you have time to rest longer, I always like to encourage that. You're in your own space at home, so if you are in a quiet place and nobody's bothering you, then by all means, extend your Shavasana and stay as long as you want. You can turn my voice off, or you can just listen. We'll close down the class here. But you're welcome to stay in your resting pose as long as you can stay, and then re-engage when you're ready, okay? So those of you that are ready to come out of the practice, just begin to deepen the breath a little bit more. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rub your thumbs over your fingertips. Start to roll at your ankles and at your wrists. Maybe draw the knees in. Roll yourself to one side. Take your time. Push yourself up to a seated position. And come up tall. Let the chin tuck just slightly so the chin feels really level here instead of up or extended forward. We're gonna have a very level chin and balance, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Let the eyes close. They're still soft in the face and soft in the jaw. Allowing a couple of breaths here. We're gonna bring the hands together at the heart center. Om with me if you like. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. And then everybody breathing in together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace within us, peace around us, and peace between us. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. Love. And I'm going to turn off my Facebook Live. Bye. Leave me comments so I'll know how it was for Facebook Live. Okay? All right. Namaste.